Welcome to the Armani Talks YouTube channel. I'm your host, Armani Talks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills in order to help you level up your way with words and become much more articulate. In today's episode, we're going to be breaking down a section from my book, Speak Easy: How to Be Articulate, Assertive, and Audacious Around People, currently out on Amazon, Audible, and Gumroad. I'll post the links in the description box right down below. And the section that we're going to be covering today is called Primal brand building. There are certain parts of a human which is not taught. A person is not taught how to imagine something. A person is not taught how to feel something. Instead, it's something that is ingrained within them. If we're trying to build a brand, is it smart to focus on the derivatives, basically the layers of a person that was taught? Or is it more strategic to focus on the primal aspects of them? If you were to ask me, I would say the latter. I would say it's much smarter to focus on the primal aspects of them. Now, here's the beauty in regards to this. Whenever you're thinking about building a brand, immediately you are conditioning your mind to think long term. It's impossible to fully build a brand within a couple of days to a couple of weeks. Instead, it takes a couple of years to a couple of decades. And this is good, especially if you're trying to improve your social skills, because the more that you can become a long-term thinker, the more likelihood that you're going to have in terms of unleashing an abundance mindset towards people rather than a scarce one. I want to tell you a story that happened recently. There's this Walmart right by where I live. Not one of those big super Walmarts, but instead it's one of the tiny Walmarts that kind of looks like a Publix. It's mainly meant for groceries. I love going to this because it's affordable. Normally the lines aren't too big and you're pretty much in and out. It's efficient. The problem with this Walmart is if I go late at night, there's a lot of homeless people that hang out around the area. Now, I don't have anything against homeless people, but every now and then you just want to go in, you want to go out, you don't want to be talking to too many people. Well, a couple of weeks back, there was this one moment when I had just gotten my groceries, I packed it in my car, and then suddenly a homeless person comes to me and he's like, "Hey, I need to eat. Give me some money." And I look at him and I'm like, "Dude, I only got debit card and credit card on me. I don't have any cash." And he's like, "Come on, man, I need to eat. I need food." I was like, "Dude, I don't know what to do." And that's when he looks at me right in the eyes and he's like, "Man, fuck you, bro. You're just a bad person." And then he walks away. That's why I don't like to hang out with all these homeless people or even encounter them, because that one guy left a pretty negative perception in my world. So recently, I go to Walmart and all I'm going for is toothpaste. I want to make sure that I'm ready for the next morning. It's roughly 9 p.m., so there's not too many people in the parking lot. I know I'm going to be in and out. So I go in, I grab the toothpaste, and right as I'm about to go to the cash register, suddenly I see this tall black man, I would say roughly 6'4", skinny. He has a hoodie on and he's looking at me and he's like, hey, bro, come here, bro, come here. I roll my eyes. I'm like, man, I already know what this guy's gonna ask. So as I go to his self-checkout cash register, I automatically see that there's a $10 item that's already been scanned. And that's when he starts talking to me. He's like, "Hey, bro, what's up, bro? I need your help. Listen, I'm homeless, I don't have a place to live, and I really need these items Come on, boss. Can you help me out, boss? And he starts just talking nonstop. I look at the amount on the cash register and I'm like, okay, $10. Why not? I'll hook him up. So I look back at him and I'm like, this is it, right? $10. And that's when he's like, oh, no, man. I also need this. And he's holding something that I have no clue what it is. And I'm just waiting at this point to see him check it and to see how much it's going to cost me, or if I even pay for it at all. So he scans it and I see the $10 go to $28. You got me, boss? Can you please hook me up, boss? I really, really need these, boss. Sure, I'll hook you up. And when I told him that I would hook him up, he starts wanting to give me a hug. And I was like, no, don't give me a hug. I don't like too much germs on me, because he's wearing this dirty sweater. And that's when he's like, hey man, do you want to get my number? I could wash your car anytime you want me to wash your car. I thought about it. I was like, that actually doesn't sound too bad. I like when people wash my cars rather than machines. Nah, don't worry about it, man. Just consider this a gift. And he was thankful. I got my toothpaste and we're basically walking out of the Walmart at the same time. Once we walk out, that's when we wave goodbye. And as we're waving goodbye, I'm walking to my car. And that's when I see this guy sit down in front of Walmart. It's 45 degrees on this particular night, which is pretty cold for a Floridian. And I could tell that that's where he's going to sleep for the night. So I felt good that I hooked him up like this. And I felt bad that he's going to be sleeping in this cold weather this late at night. But I didn't ask for him anything back from him. The next morning, I wake up and suddenly I notice that I'm getting all these different notifications. I end up getting 60 new subscribers on my newsletter, which is a lot. Normally, I'm stacking up like 5, 6, on certain occasions, 10, 15. But 60 subscribers out of the blue moon was a lot. And for the newsletter to do well like this, out of the blue moon, I was surprised. I didn't do any sort of promotion for it. I don't recall posting a tweet about it. What suddenly happened? I didn't know. There was no way to track this particular surge, nor did I care. Because what I noticed was that, for me personally, I felt as though that this was a coincidence. The night before, I help out this homeless man, and the next day, I'm given something that I wasn't expected. That's when I started to realize that a lot of the times when you give something to someone, it's returned, but it's returned in a different form than was initially imagined. Is there a way for me to logically prove this? Probably not. But what I can say is that when I start thinking like this, I start to expand my view. And the more that I expand my view, the easier that it becomes to build the Primal brand with others. Rather than immediately asking that homeless man, all right, man, I'm giving you the $28. How can we work out this payment plan so you pay me back? It was sort of like a leap of faith to know that this kind effort will be returned in a different form. So by thinking like this, it becomes much more easier to be a charismatic force, especially in the world of people. Rather than being the person who's always trying to give and take in this same interaction, try to develop a bigger viewpoint in terms of interactions to see that when you do give, in a different way, it comes back. Then you give again, and in a different way, it comes back. Every now and then, it'll come back in that particular interaction. But if it doesn't, avoid being too sour. Because when you're too sour, that's when you're building a primal brand, just not the good kind. So the next time that you're thinking about giving in one way, shape, or form, try to cultivate that mindset that says, I am building a brand. A brand is not built in days or weeks. It's built in years and decades. If you enjoyed today's talk and you want more insights like this, be sure to check out Speakeasy, How to Be Articulate, Assertive, and Audacious Around People, currently available on Amazon, Audible, and Gumroad. I'll drop the links in the description box and the pinned comment right on below. And if you're watching from TV, go on ArmaniTalks.com and grab your copy today. Thank you very much for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel, and I will catch you on the next episode.